look at the way Palestinians are treated by Zionists, the way they're treated is like they're subhuman. This is not an exaggeration. I covered it earlier, by the way, how they killed an autistic Palestinian man today. He was 32. He was going to school and they killed him. An unarmed autistic Palestinian man. For what? No reason. Because, they thought he was carrying a weapon. That's Iyad al-Hallaq. Iyad was his name. Iyad. He was 32. He had autism. They said he had a gun. There never was any gun. Iyad didn't even understand what a gun was or what a soldier was. He ran because they scared him and they just killed him. No arrest, nothing. They shot him. They fired a hail of bullets at him, 10 bullets with an M16, and they killed him for no reason. He never hurt a fly. He was just going to school where he goes every single day. It's a school for people with special needs. And he didn't pose a threat to anyone. So to add insult to injury, look at what the article says. Iyad's family demanded that a Palestinian representative be present at the autopsy. The family later said that the Palestinian pathologist was prevented from entering. So the Zionists murder Iyad, then they take him to a Zionist facility, and then they won't let any Palestinians near the body. Talk about adding insult to injury. Seriously. And look at this now. Look at this. Shortly thereafter, Iyad's father said police officers and Shin Bet agents arrived at his home and started searching it. They started searching it without saying anything. He said that one of the officers cursed a relative of the family. So not only did they murder him, but then they show up and start searching his family's house? I'm going to lose my mind. What do you call this? How can you look at this and tell me that this isn't terrorism? They committed an extrajudicial murder. They committed an act of terrorism. They murdered Iyad, and then they act like his family are terrorists? Palestinians don't pose a threat to anyone, okay? The Israelis, the Zionists, they are the ones with the guns. They are the ones carrying the weapons. And they're committing genocide. They're oppressing the Palestinians, and not even disabled people, not even disabled men are safe from them. I'm heartbroken over this guy. Every single day I think about him now. I'm absolutely heartbroken. And look at his mom as well. Look how his mom is suffering. This is really heartbreaking stuff.
أيودات عمري هذا أيودات عمري أنا أيودات قلبي أيودات في قلبي هذا الولد هذا أيودات حرام عليكم حرام فيش عندي غيره فيش عندي غيره فيش عندي غيره فيش عندي غيره وحيد فيش غيره.
You know, she's basically saying that that's her son. He's her everything. He's like her heart. She can't replace him. She doesn't have another like him. Iyad's funeral was held on Sunday in East Jerusalem. Allah yarhamu. God rest his soul. Look how many people came out to honor him. Look how many people came out to pay their respects to Iyad. Allah yarhamu. And there's a really interesting article that appeared in Haaretz. And the title of this article is Being Black in America Shouldn't Be a Death Sentence. What about being Palestinian? And please go read this article. It's behind a paywall, but if you open it in incognito mode, it'll be fine. Then you can read the whole article. Please read it. I'll put the link below in the description. And in this article, they show you how Israeli forces have killed several Palestinians, particularly Palestinians with disabilities, disabled men. And another one of them, his name is Muhammad Habali. Muhammad was only 22 years old, and he was mentally disabled. And when they killed Muhammad, this was caught on security camera footage, they just picked him off. They picked him off like shooting fish in a barrel. He never even knew what hit him. They shot him in the back of the head from across the street. He had no clue. He didn't do a single thing. They didn't arrest him, nothing. Just shot him with a machine gun in the back of the head. And no one is arrested. None of these soldiers are ever tried for war crimes. They just investigate themselves. And then, of course, no one is found guilty. And then they just repeat it over and over and over again. And no one ever knows the names of these victims. And it's an atrocity. These are disabled men. No one should be killed regardless, but these men don't even know what's going on, and they're being killed. They're being murdered, and no one knows about it. And then they also killed Arif Jaradat. Arif was a Palestinian man who had Down syndrome. And once again, these men, they posed absolutely no threat whatsoever to anyone. Zero threat. They're disabled. They have no clue what's going on, and they're being killed, massacred, and murdered, executed in broad daylight, and no one knows about it, and no one cares. And there needs to be more awareness. People need to understand what's going on. 2 years earlier, the army killed 23-year-old, mentally disabled Arif Jaradat. His family called him Hub, which means love. Whenever he saw soldiers, he would shout at them in Arabic, "Not my brother Muhammad." He meant to say, "Don't take my brother Muhammad." Muhammad, Arif's older brother, was abducted from his home and arrested at least 5 times by soldiers right in front of him. On the day Arif died, they heard him shouting his usual cry at the soldiers. "He's disabled, don't shoot him," somebody managed to shout at the soldiers, but they didn't care. They shot Hub to death too. None of these unfortunate mentally disabled people were endangering the soldiers or the border police personnel at all. The autistic al-Hallaq wasn't endangering anyone either. The border police officers shot him because that's how they do things. They did it because he was a Palestinian, and because live fire is the first and preferred option of the occupation forces. The border police are no less brutal or racist than the police in the United States. There, they shoot black people whose blood is cheap, and in Israel, they shoot Palestinians whose blood is even cheaper. والله لا يوافقون لهالكلاب. عن جد ما عندهم جنس الشرف. كلاب واطين. They just kill Palestinians like they're nothing. Anyway, sorry, I'm gonna get upset.